Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Skmei 9288 homage to Tissot PRX. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm still wearing this Pagani Design PD 1638 skeleton watch. I should be reviewing this watch right now, but I'm not. And so you're probably sick to death of it being in the wrist check. And Grogo is wearing my Pagani Design PG 5140, another watch you're probably sick of. Grogo said he loves it when Judy Collins sings Send in the Clones. I told him it's Send in the Clowns. He said just because they are clones, there's no need to be rude about it. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. I should be reviewing the Pagani Design I'm wearing right now, but when I unboxed this Skmei PRX homage, there was a lot of interest in it on my unboxing video, so I figured I might as well go ahead and bump it because there wasn't hardly any interest at all in that Pagani Design skeleton. This is the fourth Skmei on my channel. A couple years ago, Tissot came out with the integrated Bracelet PRX, which was a massive hit for them due to the sheer looks and affordability. Well, we do a lot of ultra affordable watches on this channel, so here's this $20 Skmei. In all honesty, this Skmei does a good job mimicking the PRX. We don't do fakes on this channel, but we do a whole lot of knockoffs. Being an ultra affordable watch means a few shortcuts. The biggest is the chrome-plated zinc alloy case. Not that chrome plating looks bad, it just doesn't match the tone of the stainless steel bracelet. Plus deep scratches can reveal the copper color zinc underneath. At least Skmei is upfront about the case material, unlike a few other AliExpress brands. I chose the blue colorway because if I was to ever buy a real PRX, it would be blue. There is also black, salmon, and white. The white and black come in two-tone options also with the gold bezel. The watch is 37.1 millimeters at the bezel, 40 millimeters if you measure at the case. It's 44.9 millimeters lug to lug, 11.3 millimeters thick, counting this dome crystal. Lug width does not apply, but it's 26.2 millimeters at the widest end link and weighs 111 grams on the supplied bracelet with 3 links removed. As you can see, the bezel is smooth, and this is chrome plated, so everything's going to look polished on the case. Then the dial is blue, and it's not so much that it has a sunburst effect, but when you look at it in different directions, it plays with the light. It doesn't have that checkered pattern though as a PRX automatic does. Then we have the Skmei logo applied up top and then Quartz on the bottom. No mention of water resistance, and you only get your basic 30. Then we have baton loomed indices with a double baton at the 12. Then we have a minute marker chapter ring. Then the hands are just stick hands, and they're also loomed, and there's no loom on the second hand, and it looks like the second hand does miss most of the marks. Then we have a date at the 3. It's a day-date complication. And if you go to set the day, oops, that's the month, day of the week, you'll see that the second language is a Chinese language. I know it's probably some kind of language that's not exactly Chinese, but you know what I mean. The unsigned crown is a push-pull. You don't get screwed down with 30 meters. And the crown action is wonderful for a $20 watch. Look at this. You go to set it, and unlike most $20 quartz watches, you go to pressing the crown, and there's no minute hand jump, none whatsoever, which is a great relief. That's the biggest bane of these really cheap quartz watches. It's not the accuracy, because they're still very accurate. It's trying to set them accurately because the minute hand jumps. This one does not do that. It's never done it. You don't have to be extra careful when you push it in. It's got wonderful crown action. And you would think, why is he making such a big deal about pressing in a crown? Well, I've done so many of these really cheap quartz watches that it's just been a real nightmare. And the crystal is a single dome crystal. You know it's not double because there's quite a bit of distortion when you bend it. And I'm not a huge fan of the crystal because there just seems to be a ton of reflection. I'd much rather have a flat one. It just really seems to play with the light. I mean, it's glass, so it shouldn't be reflecting like this. I mean, I've seen sapphire crystals reflect less than this. So, not a huge fan of the crystal. Then the case, once again, is a zinc alloy, chrome plated. They keep it fairly thin, and this is a quartz watch, so they can do that. In fact, if it had a flat crystal, this would be really thin watch. It's the dome crystal that adds a lot of the thickness. Then we have the press-on case back. Yeah, it looks like a screw down, but it's not. You don't get a screw down with 30 meters. Those are just strictly decorative. You can see the little slot to put a pry tool. Then it says water resistant 30 meters. And then it says battery coating, gives you the battery. So that's handy. I guess if you need to go change the battery, you know which one to get first before even opening up the case. Then it has the Skmei name and the model number. And I've been saying Skmei forever. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it or not, but I'll just keep saying Skmei unless somebody ever corrects me. Then underneath the case back is a movement of unknown origin. I assume it's Chinese because if it's Japanese, you usually brag about that. But once again, it's a day date. And you can press in the crown with the minute hand jumping. So whatever this movement is, I'm a big fan. Then the bracelet is integrated, which it should be because the PRX has an integrated bracelet. This one though, yeah, it's kind of loose, loosey-goosey there. So yeah, but this is a $20 watch. But yeah, it's not horrible. And another thing too is sometimes you can, it will go up on you and then lock there, and then you kind of have to play with it to get it back down. So that's kind of irritating. Then the bracelet itself is solid link stainless steel. That's pretty unbelievable for a $20 watch. Usually for a watch at this price, they're either going to be hollow or they're going to be rolled, but not this one. Then we have push pin adjusters. I'm perfectly fine with push pin adjusters. I think it's easier to just get out the old sizing tool than a screwdriver. Plus, I never lose push pins, but sometimes I lose screws. And then we have a butterfly clasp. The butterfly clasp does a good job of locking. It'll never come loose on you unless you press the buttons. And it is a push button and not a friction, which is always nice. There are no half links though, so getting the perfect size is not going to be always possible, but they are fairly small links, so you don't have too much to worry about. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. I had to remove 3 links, although I'm wearing it a little loose. I probably could have removed a 4th link, but this watch is only 111 grams, so it's light, so you can wear it loose. I think if it was a big heavy watch, I'd probably take another link out, but I kind of like this one loose. That way if my wrist swells, that's fine. But it looks nice, and the bracelet looks nice. It has a nice wrist roll to it. And I just, look at that reflection though. Here we are in the Lume room, just wearing the watch. I could never see any Lume at all. I never even knew it had Lume until I shone a UV flashlight on it. So this test is going to be really bad. As we speed up the time, the indices are already gone. The hands do not last much longer. This is terrible Lume. What do I like about this watch? Well, it looks a lot like a PRX. I like the fact that it has a solid steel bracelet. That's very rare for a watch in this price range. I like the fact that it has a day-date complication. And I love the fact that the minute hand doesn't jump when you push in the crown. What are my gripes and groans? A lot of reflection on this crystal. And this chrome plated case just doesn't match the steel bracelet. And the Lume is just horrible, really lousy Lume. And the end links are loose and sometimes they go up on you. Do I recommend this watch? Yes. It looks like a PRX and only costs $20. It doesn't have one of those annoying jumping minute hands like so many Quartz watches in this price range do. So yeah, I think this is a really good watch. It's worth the $20. And it might be a little starter PRX. You could wear this for a while, see if you even like a PRX before you commit the money to a more expensive one. I do have a Pagani Design PRX homage coming. It won't be for a while though. Maybe I'll keep this one till then and can do a side-by-side with them. But I do recommend this watch. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Skmei 9288 homage to Tissot PRX, and I will be back with another review. I'm going to finally do that Pagani Design that I'm wearing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.